Hey guys, go ahead and get out your language notebook. Put away anything else you are working on. Label your notebook at the top. Linking verbs. Linking verbs. Did you guys ever know there were so many kinds of verbs?
No.
You guys just knew there were verbs and they were the action part, the doing part of our sentence. But there's actually a lot of different kind of verbs. So we've learned about our action verbs and our main verbs. We've learned about our helping verbs. And now we have our linking verbs. So language notebooks out. Label it at the top. I'll give you just a second. Alright, so I did hear some people who say, well, I've learned a little bit about linking verbs before. Raise your hand and tell me, what do you think a linking verb is? Or what do you remember in the past about learning about it?
It links with the main verb.
It links with the main verb.
It links with the action and the person.
It links the action to like the person or the noun in the sentence. I like that you guys are really thinking logically here, using that word linking, meaning to link something, put something together. I love that. It links or connects two verbs together. Links our main verb. Any other guesses out there? All right, let's see. So what is a linking verb? Yep. Hold on.
At least one thing about the verb, and that was that it can show actions. Hello, grammarians. Today we're talking about verbs and bears. So we had previously established at least one thing about the verb, and that was that it can show actions. But today I'd like to introduce the idea that the verb can link ideas to one another. In fact, we have this whole class of verbs that we call linking verbs. Or if you want to call it something fancier, we call that state of being verbs. These linking verbs include all forms of the verb to be, which I've handily written out for you. So I am, he is, we are, be nice, they were being, they have been, he was, we were. Now we use a linking verb when we want to connect one idea to another. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide the screen in half between the action side and the state of being side, just to show you what I mean. So we use action verbs to show what something does, whereas we use state of being verbs to show what something is. So let's bring it back to this bear. Let's think of an action for this bear to do. What is a bear-like thing to do? The bear eats a fish. That's an action. That's something the bear is doing. The bear is hungry, however, is not something that the bear is doing, it's something that the bear is. So what is doing here is connecting the word hungry to the word bear. It's linking it. Some verbs can be used both ways. They can be used both as actions and as linking verbs, and I'll show you an example of that. You could say, the bear looked at me, which is to say the bear is doing a thing, looking at something, namely me. But we could also say, using the same verb, the bear looked lonely. Now in this case, this is describing how the bear looks, what the bear looks like. This looking is not something the bear is doing, it is how the bear appears to a viewer. So, looked is connecting lonely to bear. It is linking lonely to bear. It is a linking verb. By the same token, we could say for an action, the bear smells a person. What is it smelling? A person. But we could also say the bear smells like cinnamon, which I grant you is pretty unlikely. Don't go smelling bears. But what smells is doing here is connecting the idea of cinnamon to the bear. The bear isn't smelling cinnamon, the bear smells like cinnamon. And that's the difference between a linking verb and an action verb. So a linking verb shows what something is, an action verb shows what something does. So the bear is hungry, the bear looked lonely, the bear smells like cinnamon. These all reflect something about what the bear is, how it's being. You can learn anything, David out.
All right, so let's go back to linking verbs are just like the equal sign in math, okay? That's how we can think about them. Okay, they don't actually have an action to them. So, my school equals, what is it? It's a great place to be. A great place to be is my school. They took out the word is and replaced it with our equal sign. A great place to be is equals my school. Okay, so you can replace in both of these the word is with the equal sign. What is it? My teacher is a good teacher. I can, right?
Yes.
Okay, good answer. Okay, I could take out that word is and put my equal sign. My teacher equals a good teacher.
You're a great teacher.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're an amazing teacher. You're more than amazing teacher.
A good teacher is my teacher. I could take out that word is, my linking verb is, and say a good teacher is equal to my teacher.
Yeah.
So the linking verb be and all his forms are linking verbs, just like he said in the video. Linking verbs, that's the word that they link answers the question how or what kind, okay? So they can use our senses word, like our 5 senses. What does it feel like? Taste, smell, look, seem, or sound. Okay, using our 5 senses. Examples of linking verbs in sentences. I feel cold. My linking verb being feel. Candies taste sweet. My linking verb being taste. I smell good. Smell. Linking I. I is good. I look great. Look is my linking verb. I seem successful. Seem is my linking verb. And they sound loud. Sound is my linking verb. And then they put them in bold and yellow so you can see them. So here's some more examples of some linking verbs. Appear, turn, grow, stay, remain. These are not all of our linking verbs. They're just some examples. And then you can see them used in these sentences. Okay? I stay cold. Candies appear fresh. I remain good. We grow old. Berries turn sweet.
Do berries actually turn sweet? No. Yeah.
So our present tense form of the word be, they would be am, is, and are. Who can give me an example with the linking verb am in it?
I am eating a burrito.
I am eating.
I am
I am
going to sleep.
going to sleep.
I am running around.
I am running. What about the linking verb is? Who can give me an example with the linking verb is?
My cat is giving itself a bath.
My cat is giving itself a bath. My horse is good.
He is being good.
He is being good. What about my linking verb for present tense of be for are? Who can use are in a sentence? And not O-U-R. This is A-R-E. O-U-R would be showing ownership of something.
Are you in my room again?
Ooh, he said, are you in my room again? Using are as the linking verb and using it in a question. Brooklyn?
Me and my horses are eating.
My horses and I are eating. Good.
Are you hungry? Yeah, I'm hungry.
So here's some sentences they had as examples. I am lucky. July is my daughter. And July and I are good friends. Yes, I know I heard some us. July is a month, but it also can be used as a name. I know a lot of people who have April as a name or May as a name. Okay, so they were, June. They were using July as a name.
My sister's name is August. Somebody's name is
The past tense form of the word be, some examples are was and were. Okay, was and were meaning something already happened. Okay, it's in our past. They have the examples, he was my friend and we were friends. Who can give me an example of using was in a sentence? Our linking verb was. I was what? I was going crazy for candy. I was making a YouTube video. Now though, past tense form of the word be using were. Use were in a sentence and I want you to write it in your language notebook now. Use our past tense form of our word be, which is were, in a sentence. We were going to go outside for recess, but it rained. I want you to turn to somebody in your area, and I want you to share with them your sentence.
He was what? I wish I were out. You go
All right, listening in 3, 2, 1. So, we could always use some tips to help us memorize these important facts. We know in math, in all of our subjects, some of the information that we get, we just have to memorize it. So we can come up with tricks to help us memorize. So our tricks for our verb be are him, his, and hair. You want to see hair meaning like a rabbit? Okay, so hair that's on your head would be spelled H-A-I-R. The hair like a rabbit is spelled H-A-R-E. Let's see how these 3 words could help us memorize our be. When you remove the H's from all 3 words, we're left with are, is, and am. So this word was hair, this word was his, and this word is ham. And when you take off the H's, we're left with our verb be. Okay? So a little trick there to help you memorize those. And we can use wasp and here to help us memorize our past tense form of be. How do you think you could use this here? These wasp and here. Alyssa?
Take the W off of, the P off of wasp.
Uh-huh. Take the P off of wasp, and that's going to give me was. And how would here help me, Aiden?
Take away the ER.
Take away the ER?
No.
They took off the P to make my was, and they changed the H to a W to make were, our past tense forms of be. All right, let's do some problems together. So I have some sentences here, and I have my verb of be in different tenses on the bottom. So I have be, were, are, is, and was. Is that my only linking verbs?
No.
No. It's just a couple of examples that we're going to use right now. So number one, we need to fill in that sentence with a linking verb to make it make sense. The girl blank going to the movies tonight. Which linking verb would help complete that sentence? Tell somebody next to you now. All right, I heard two. I heard some people say the girl is going to the movies tonight. Give me a thumbs up. And then I heard the girl was going to the movies tonight. Show me a thumbs up for that one. If you want to use past tense, you could say was, okay? But that going means going, ing, that means it's currently going to be happening, okay? Number two, the snake blank really creepy to look at. Tell somebody next to you. I heard two examples for that one. I heard the snake was really creepy to look at. Well, couldn't that be true if I went to the zoo yesterday and saw that snake?
Yeah.
And I said it was creepy? And then I also heard some people say the snake is really creepy to look at. Well, what if I'm at the zoo right now looking at the snake? Would that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to depend on what kind of, if you're wanting to say it happened now or in the past. Okay? Both of those fit, but one is happening right now, one already happened. So when you make your sentences, you have to decide in your head, am I wanting to say that this currently is happening, present, or I'm wanting to say that this happened in the past, okay? That's what makes the difference. But both would make that sentence complete and make sense. Number three, they blank going to go to the mall, but decided to do their homework instead.
Smart move.
Yeah, I heard were. Were would be a good one. They were going to go to the mall. Number four. Will you blank at the birthday party on Saturday? Yeah, will you be at the birthday party on Saturday? Good. And number five. The boys blank going to soccer practice today. The boys are going to soccer practice today. And I know that I can't use, would it make sense to say the boys were going to soccer? That sounds right, correct? That makes sense. However, they're giving me a time word here of today. So could I use a past tense verb for today? No. So I have to look at my context clues, my other words, to help me know if something should be in the past or in the present. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your homework for tonight for language, you have two things. You have on recent activity, I posted a link there to a website where you are going to use to practice using linking verbs, okay? There are only, I think, maybe 10 problems. I know it's not going to take you very long. You are not submitting anything to me. You just do it right there on the website, okay? You also need to write in your language notebook your informative draft. Remember, this is where you are informing your audience. You are teaching them something that you are an expert about. You have your pre-write paper that you did last week. So you get out that pre-write paper. You use that paper to now make your draft. Ladies and gentlemen, in your draft, do you need to check for spelling yet? No, you just do your best. Should you have complete sentences, though? Yes. We should have complete sentences. You should have at least 5 paragraphs, okay? This is a rough draft. This is not one you are submitting yet, but we need to go ahead and get our ideas from our pre-write into sentence form now on our rough draft, okay? So those two things. Do you have any questions on your language? All right, go ahead and get started now. Yes.